my wife was like laughing because she saw this meme the other day, and it was like someone Google Earthing like a parking situation before they went to a store.
Yeah, 100%.
I was like,
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I do that same shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't be
Dude,
embarrassed.
I'll go one step higher. I will try to find pictures of the inside so I know where the fucking exits are.
I'm right there. It's like, fuck, I don't want to be trapped in a situation and not know where I am.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, you know who
There we go.
got
There we
sick
go.
at recording is Mark too. Mark got so good at recording.
Waller?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dude, he just bought a house in Buxton, and he's got like the sickest, like illest studio setup ever.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea till I went there.
I saw him post like a demo, or like he went like this to a song he'd recorded. Like it was kind of techie too, and I was like, oh, that's actually really good.
Yeah,
I don't-
he's an animal, dude.
Yeah.
Him and Gerard are like, I mean, I consider them like up to par, probably the best guitar players I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, for sure.
Easily,
Yeah.
I just don't even want to be around them when it comes to talking about music, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's
they're definitely animals.
okay, I'll just sit down over here.
So, how I know you?
Let's do it.
Well, we don't need. I mean, we can just kind of shoot the shit, get relaxed, get a beer on us. You
Yeah.
know, we don't have to jump right into
Let's
it.
do it, dude.
But-
It's smoother that way.
Plus, I
anyway.
have Bud Lights on the table, so I can't put this on in the episode. When Crystal gets here, we'll get rid of these. We'll get the Coors Lights on the table.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, sponsored by.
No, but I mean,
Dude, you should get a fucking Coors sponsorship. That would be so sick.
Here's the thing. There's
I've been
this.
trying my whole life to get a beer sponsorship, man.
Yeah, that would change my life.
I've had everything else. now.
Yeah, there's this podcast called Concrete that I watch.
Not the band, right?
No, yeah, but
Do
they
you know Concrete?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, I lived in upstate for a while.
Oh, that would make
Yep.
sense.
They're so that we'll probably get into that later, but Adversaries like we played with this band called Israfel way back. Israfel is Concrete now. But
Okay.
Israfel was like old Adversaries, like fucking break your face, deathcore, like and Concrete's just like straight up like fucking hardcore.
It's X Concrete X, isn't it?
Yeah. Nobody's straight edge.
Oh, okay.
So maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Like, shit, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, I partied with all those dudes pretty hard, so that would surprise me.
Yeah.
Like, I do not think they're reformed. Maybe.
Fair enough.
But,
So, you were in Jules Verne,
correct.
and I know it was before I was 18 because my cigarettes got crushed in my pocket, and I couldn't buy my own. Like I had to find someone to buy me some.
Fuck, that's heavy.
Yeah. But you guys were playing. It was you and like Skeleton Witch, Black Dahlia Murder.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
At the cave.
Hell yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah. So I didn't know.
Skeleton Witch is so sick.
They're so
Still
sick. Yeah. That was like 6 months before I'd even been in my own first band, so I didn't understand like that there was a difference between a local act and a national act or a touring act or whatever.
For sure.
And not that you guys were local, you were definitely above that, but like I didn't know that like I could run into you on the street. You know what I mean? Like you
Dude,
weren't.
that's dope you were there. That was one of my first shows with Jules Verne.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had Nikki who just was Oliver Sykes. You know what I mean? He didn't sound like him, but the
At
way he
time,
dressed
spitting
and
image, yeah.
Yeah.
He would be so stoked.
to hear that.
I'm
Oh,
sure
really?
he would. Maybe not current day Nicky, but like,
Right.
yeah, like Nick back then would be like stoked.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you had DJ
Yep.
and Morgan and
Yep.
who's the other guitar player?
So Miles.
Was it Miles?
Yeah, Miles was in JV too to start.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you guys, I don't know if I think there might have been one band before you, or you opened. I don't know.
No, there was someone else. I think it was.
I think it was like a local hardcore, like an actual local hardcore band.
Yeah,
that
it was.
before
I
you
think it was
guys.
another like Bucksport,
Yeah.
Bangor band,
Yeah.
maybe.
And so you guys got on stage, and like I hope you don't take offense to this, but your look was very like reptilian. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, shit, who knows what I was doing?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
like,
yeah, you had fucking huge ears, and you got a
over-centered.
6-string bass, and I was like, holy fuck, these guys and you guys were so good. You know what I mean? And like I legitimately, like I thought you guys were famous. I thought you were just like another famous band that was there.
Dude.
And
Man,
then probably 6 months later, when I booked my first band's first show, it was our first show and I booked it, and it was also the first show I'd ever booked. We did it at the Brick Church
Right on.
in
Yep.
Bangor, and you guys
Yep.
played that show for me as well.
Yep.
And Morgan, that was when I realized that like you were people that I could talk to. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
Because that's when I met Morgan, and him and I are still friends like to this day.
Yeah, dude, Morgan's. Yeah, I've cut Morgan's hair a bunch of times. Like, I mean, it's
Really?
all love with everybody.
Yeah.
In that band, probably like the only people I keep in touch with. I mean, like obviously Miles, like
Right, he's right downstairs.
couldn't be more tight with Miles. I
Yeah.
mean, he's my family. Plus DJ. I mean, like, we're still like me and DJ are homies. Like, I see him at least twice a year, probably, and he lives halfway or all the way across the country.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, like everybody's doing good. You know, like it was good times. Jules Verne was a lot of fun. It was
What-
a lot of fun.
Well, let's do this because I don't want to cut this part out. So I'm just gonna say welcome to another episode of Big Fat Tattoo Dad podcast. Because I want to keep everything we just said. Sitting today with Curran Candage, owner of Black Door Barber Company. Now, on like Google and stuff though, it's just Black Door. Like if I go to Maps right now and try to find your spot,
Yes.
it's just Black Door.
Yes.
Why is that?
Yes. So Black Door. If we're gonna start at Black Door, so when I became a part of Black Door, it was Black Door Tattoo, which was formerly One King Tattoo. But
Right.
when Miles took ownership of the shop, it reformed to Black Door. So I believe that like they had lost a couple of tattooers and renovated downstairs and just kind of moved everything downstairs. So there was a whole floor that was unoccupied.
Right.
And like Miles and me, like Miles and I, being in bands forever, obviously like stayed super close. And I was kind of like at that point frustrated with my life and decided that like I just wanted to do my own thing. Like I didn't really have like, I wasn't like, dude, like forget it. Like I'm going to open up my own business. Forget this. You know,
Yeah.
I hate working for someone else. Like it was never like that. But Black Door was just randomly an opportunity in my mind. I think someone actually like one of my patrons like just randomly was like, dude, why don't you just open like up above Miles' shop?
Really?
Because it was not being used. You know,
Yeah.
it was just wasted space. He's paying rent on that. And I'm like, how crazy is this, dude? And I just said it to him, and he's like, seems reasonable. Like, he, you know, he's a man of few words, but he was like, you know, like we talked about it and just kind of mapped it out, ran it by the owner of the building, and he was like, yeah, I'm like, let's do it.
No shit.
So, yeah, we spent about, and by we, I mean me and Johnny, because I had kind of run that idea by him. We spent about probably 6 to 8 months, like, just renovating that spot.
Really?
And, yeah.
That is definitely one thing I want to talk about is the way the inside of that place looks. Because I
There's a
had
lot.
I had my first visit there the other day.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Stoked to have you in there.
Yeah, I was happy to be there. Especially where it's like a couple of homies that work and own the place. You know what I mean?
I mean, you pretty much know everybody that works in the entire building.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point.
Yeah, except for there's one dude from New Hampshire, right? The barber
Colin, yeah.
with the long
You
hair.
might as well know him.
Yeah, fair enough.
You basically do.
Yeah.
Love you, Colin.
One thing I've gotten really bad at hanging the things in here that I want to hang in here. Like Dan Kelly of Skull and Snake made that Joe Rogan picture
Dan's
for me.
cool. I've cut Dan's hair before too.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Must have been a while ago.
A long time,
Yeah.
dude. 7 years ago, probably at least.
That was probably his last haircut. Have you seen his hair?
No,
It's like
Dude,
past shoulder
in
length.
7 years, he'd be like a gypsy. There's no way. Like, he's had haircuts in between, but
Yeah.
great dude.
Yeah,
Great guy.
he's a solid guy for sure. And then like that. Oh, my flag's down because we had practice the other day. But, like I have a flag that I hang up there. Like, so
What
seeing
kind of flag?
an American
No,
flag.
I'm just kidding.
oh, yeah.
You do know what year it is, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah. So like when I saw the inside of your place, I was like, this is sick. Like it's every inch of your wall. You have stuff everywhere.
Dude. That's just me.
And-
you
and
know?
is that-
It's everybody. Like the shop is everyone.
Is it your own curation though? Like because there's a lot of shit, and it's
Yes.
not all it's not all necessarily one subject. It's pretty close.
Totally. Yes and no. You know, like I don't know if you had been on our website circa any year that's not this year in specific,
No.
but like I had photos because I mean it's a website and I'm a busy guy.
Yeah.
That were like very sterile and before anybody had ever like been a patron at Black Door. So like I'm talking there was no hair on the floor, nothing. But if you looked at it now, like it almost made me cringe. And,
Yeah.
and I realized this, I'm like, oh, how have I let this happen? Because the walls were empty. There was nothing there. Like we had that that Impala, like the weird, like obscure African taxidermy that's like right on the stairs when
Yep.
you walk in. That was there. And then all of like the pallet board and stuff like that was there, but there was nothing there. And like everything else is just kind of accumulated, you know? It's just been like things that are interesting, things that like make sense to us and like that just looked cool. Like I'd wanna look at the stuff on my walls.
Yeah.
And like if other people don't, then I don't really care.
So is it stuff like
That sounded really insensitive, but it's fine. It's cool. I know it's cool.
no? It's definitely cool, and I doubt you got it all in one day, right? I mean,
So Black Door opened in 2017, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it was empty.
yeah,
And it just like I've moved things around in there, man, more times than you could ever imagine. Like, because when you add things to a wall, it's like you add something and something doesn't look right.
Right.
You know, so then you move everything.
Yeah.
I actually posted a video on my Instagram. Like I'm so OCD, like I'll dream about this. I'll dream about something on the wall of my business. And the next day I'll wake up like 30 minutes early, go in and move it around.
Yeah.
Just like to see how it'll look. Like I'm like, okay, I had this dream. And I posted a video, it's still on my story, I think somewhere, but like in my highlights, but I was moving something around, just being an OCD weirdo one day, and I was like nailing something into a pallet board, and I have this old antique phone. It's like wooden. It's like a replica. It's nothing special, but it's really heavy. And I was nailing something into the wall, and it fell off the wall and just bashed me in the head.
Oh,
And
no.
dude, it was so funny because I caught it all on video. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the only one there, and I'm like, wow, I wish nobody I wish someone would have seen that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I probably have that right on camera. So I just like pulled my security footage and like saw it, and I'm just like, oh wow, what the hell? And then I looked at the phone, and then I'm just like, whatever, just
That's so
keep
funny.
going. But gotta laugh at yourself, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
that's the whole saying, isn't it?
dude, like the other day, even like this was like last week, I was hanging something on the wall, and like Johnny, who like, brought the shop up with me, like, swung hammers and like made it happen.
Is he the one that sits next to Jesse?
He's next to me now. Yeah. So he's Jesse's mentor.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was like, damn, dude. He's like, you really don't want to see any paint in here. And I'm like, the paint looks like shit, dude. It's like, to be real,
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's not better to look at than like just random stuff?
This
you
is
know?
this is your corner specifically, right?
Yeah, right. That's my chair.
So
Fucking love my chair.
let me ask you this: you have a Glock and a Sig thing up here. Is that because you didn't want
Right.
to hear Glock boys talk about, or if you had just a Sig, have to hear the Glock boys, and if you had just a Glock, have to hear the Sig guys? Or do you actually appreciate
So that's
both guns?
that's Smith and Wesson and Glock.
Oh, is that Smith?
Yeah,
Oh
Smith
shit.
and Wesson.
Oh wow, I'm stupid.
They're both great. I like them both. I like
Yeah.
guns. They're fine.
Yeah.
No, not really. Those signs were in two completely different spots multiple times, and now they're there.
That's awesome.
So there's really no explanation. I mean, there might as well be like a gun corner, I guess. I'm not even sure. But I mean, dude, like that picture has a lot. I mean, like, down to my chair, like that's my baby. I restored that. It's a 1951 Coke and President.
That's the one you sent
So,
me.
yep.
Of that
Yeah,
chair.
I got that from.
Oh, and look, the guns aren't there. Or they're
Yeah.
in different spots. Yeah.
There you go. There's your sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, I picked that chair up. So one of my clients, not many people know this, if you go to a tattooed hipster barbershop where they have, hand pump antique barber chairs, and there's none of those in the world.
Yeah.
But some people that will listen to this probably will. Do not stand on the footrest because I had a 1920s Theo that was my baby before this. The first chair I had in the shop, I cut in that for like a year and a half, and one of my clients stood on the base. So if you put all your weight on the base of these chairs, they're old and they're all cast, so they just snap off.
Sure.
Essentially. So this guy was like my size, and I actually just cut his hair today, and we brought it up. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking about Halloween, and I was like, dude, don't talk about Halloween. That's the day you busted my chair. And he was like, you're still thinking about that? I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm still thinking about that, man. Like, it's pretty funny.
So when you say hand pump, you're talking about like this literal hand pump, right? Rather than the foot one like that the other ones have?
Correct,
gotcha.
yeah. That just means that we're stubborn hipsters, and I mean, like, I think the hand pump's cool, but your shoulder will go out eventually.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I got that chair from like someone I consider my mentor, Mike Connie, who he owns Pugsley's Barbershop in New York. He's a huge staple to me. And I've like done work with him and, you know, been really close with him since I've been a barber.
Yeah.
But, I picked that chair up because he has only Koken Presidents. Koken was the first barber chair in America. They're great. They, from what I understand, hold up the best and from what I've experienced, but it was in the basement of his appointment only shop in New York. So I drove down and got it. Like when my chair broke, I was like, hey, like you got to have one. Cause I've turned him on to, you know, I've given him plugs on a couple of these cause I know he loves them and he'll go get them like in Connecticut all over. So he was like, yeah, I think I have one. So I just drove down and I had no idea what to expect. Like I drove, it's upstate. And like definitely check them out on Instagram if you like haircuts, Pugsley's Barbershop. But drove up and we like get into the basement. I hung out with him for like a few days before. He didn't even take me in the shop. And then like we finally got around to like being able to talk about the chair because we were just catching up, whatever. And I go in and this thing was like just in pieces, like just this. It was just 1951.
Yeah.
And it, like someone had left it in a barn. It was like just totally rusted out, dude. Like I've got pictures with that picture on my Instagram of it before, and it was like, if you blew on it, like the metal would have just like
flaked out,
incinerated.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like all the upholstery was crap, like everything. So, I did all the metal. Like I sanded all the metal, and then I sent everything off to be upholstered after I was done. But those chairs there's a lot of moving parts, and I'd never put one together. So it took months and months and months, but
that's so
I
awesome.
love it so much. I love it.
That's really cool. So you've been there since 2017, you said, right? So
correct. Yep.
What month?
Oh man, so it would be June.
June?
Yep. June 16th.
So we're coming up on 4 years then.
June 16th, yeah. Oh my god.
June 16th?
Yep.
Dude, you know, okay.
Oh man, I want to say the 16th. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna look.
Okay.
Like it was kind of a gray area because like we were waiting on like our licensing to like actually launch. Like, I did everything super legit, like code wise, state wise. Like there was no other way to do it.
That's the
June
opposite
16th.
of how I do anything.
Obviously, right? Because I care. No, I mean that date's important. It's super important.
Yeah,
it couldn't be more important.
Yeah, dates. So I have a terrible perception of time and direction. Like I have to use my GPS to go anywhere. And
that's what happens when you drink a lot too. I mean, shit.
And even if I know,
and when you have fucking kids, holy shit,
100%. And like earlier, we were talking about the anxiety thing of like driving and parking, and like even if I know where I'm going, if I don't have my GPS on, I'll get anxiety about going there because I'll disassociate while I'm driving, and then
you forget,
and then I'll snap to it. And I'm like, where the fuck am I?
You ain't even gotta explain that to me. I'm
okay,
right there.
yeah. So the number 22 is a huge one for me. There's like 100 different examples why, but June 16th is a really crazy one for me because that's actually the date that my sister passed away when she died.
Oh man, fuck! I'm so sorry.
No, well,
that's
thank you, but you know, I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty.
I actually didn't even know that. Like,
yeah, no one knows that.
But I guess it's because I don't really know you.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, dude.
But it's just like, it's one of the only dates that I remember. You know what I mean? Like I don't know anyone.
Dude,
I know my kids' birthdays.
Dude, I had to ask Mark what my middle fucking name was the other day, man. Like, dude, shit's just there's other shit to think about that's way more important than myself or like, you know, dates or like you should remember that, man. You know, it's like it's crazy, dude. I I'm right there though, dude. Like, my wife was like laughing because she saw this meme the other day, and it was like someone Google Earthing like a parking situation before they went to a store.
Yeah, 100%.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I do that same shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Dude,
be embarrassed.
I'll go one step higher. I will try to find pictures of the inside so I know where the fucking exits are.
I'm right there. It's like, fuck, I don't want to be trapped in a situation and not know where I am, dude.
Yeah.
Especially like, man, like traveling, like going to bar. Like, I mean, I've been all over the place, like, for work and stuff, like, you know, educating and shit. And it's like, dude, so much anxiety. I'm staying in hotels from like, you know, these ornate hotels from like the fucking 1800s. I'm like, what, did H.H. Holmes like murder people here? Like, I'm not sure.
Like, I back in everywhere I go to. Like, I have to back my car
Dude,
in.
I mean, yeah, I drive a truck. It's like parking sucks. Like, I don't want to look like a dick, but
like, I have to know that like my vehicle is parked in like the fastest way for me to exit, like wherever I am. Just weird guy
I don't
stuff.
blame you.
Yeah.
Dude, you carry probably a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day of my life.
I used to, but my back just can't fucking do it anymore. Yeah. Like, and I mean, like, to be real, like, this is still cut, I'm assuming. But
I don't know if I'm going to cut it, actually. That was pretty solid.
Okay. But, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if you, like, feel the need to have it and you place things in places where you might ever be in the situation you need them, like, there's no reason to have it on you. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm also not John fucking Wick, dude. So, I mean.
There are definitely, like, off-body carry options that work. You know, like, if you drive one. Like, I don't drive the same car every day because I work for a dealership. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm always in a different car. So, like, I can't leave something in my car. You have a truck.
Right.
You know, if you wanted to, you could always have your truck gun. You own a shop. You could have your shop. Like, you could have something everywhere that you would need it to be.
I'm not implying I have any of that.
I'm not implying that you are either. Oh, man.
But, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy guy stuff. But, I mean, I feel, and I've talked about this before in other episodes, especially the one with Gerard, like, there's definitely a type of person that it takes to be a touring musician. You know what I mean? And I feel like so many of us relate with so much of the, like, deficiencies that we have.
Yeah, we're all delinquents for sure.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
Nobody's normal that, like, would choose that in any stage of their life. Young, old, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you want to eat ramen, like, straight out of the pack with no seasoning because you just don't care, I mean, there's something wrong with
No seasoning, no water.
We talked about that today. It's like, it's a pretty relevant stuff. Yeah, no water. No.
Yeah.
No time for that. Dude, I literally remember, especially, like, since Alex was just here, this is really relevant. Like, when Adversaries did a tour once, I think we were in Virginia, maybe, like, in the fucking hood. Like, they like, were not happy we were there. But, like, we toured at that time in DJ's Durango with,
nice.
Dude, no, not nice. But we had, like, a pretty legit trailer, whatever. I would never drive it because I was like, dude, I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
how old are you now? 32? No. How old are you?
28.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're younger than me.
Dude, I was...
So you were like a kid. I thought you were older than me.
I was like a little tiny baby when, like, I was playing music. I mean, I started out even younger.
Holy shit. So the whole time I was
that.
admiring you, you were fucking... You're younger than me. That's
Dude,
so weird.
I was always a baby.
You were like 16 or 17 then in Jules Verne.
Yeah. And
no shit.
In turn, like, that kind of... you know, like, put me really close with Mark because Mark was the same as me. Like, we were both, like, okay, I guess. I'm not going to say I was good at playing music because, I mean, in my mind, I really wasn't. But, you know, I could pull it off. And, you know, like, but we both somehow just made it in to hanging out with, like, 30 to, like, you know, 20 to 40-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
And just being in cool bands, like,
yeah.
And just being kids. So... I think we both grew up too fast because of that.
Dude, I feel you on that. Like, for sure.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah.
You too. But it's like, you know, live fast, hopefully not die young, I guess. But yeah, because I started, so when I was first, like, getting into bands was... maybe even like pre-high school. So I was in a band called the Hallwell Count. And
I know that band.
The Hallwell Count, but great guys. Like, they taught me a lot of just like life lessons, honestly, because like you don't know what the hell you're doing at that age. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I also was like kind of not really in school, like but like attending enough, I guess, to get by. And like I went to vocational school as well at that time for music, and I wasn't even 16 at that time. I mean, I might have been like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And when I was 16, so this was, I don't even know, 2006 maybe, I was apprenticing for body piercing. So when I was 16, I was a apprentice, and you couldn't even get licensed at until you were 18, even at that time. Like, they knew better, the state. But I apprenticed at Hollow Ground.
Yeah. With Ryan?
Under Nate, but I doubt you'd know Nate. Like, unfortunately, Nate, my mentor, who was like one of my best friends, like he ended up shooting himself in the head. But
shit.
he's alive.
He lived. Yeah. I do know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hesitated because I didn't.
He's gone. He moved away.
Yeah.
Anyway. I was just talking to him the other day, kind of.
Yeah.
But Nate's a good dude, and so I was just like exposed to all these like old corrupt people that are still the people I'm around today, you know, and like it was like when I think about it now, I was just living in a parallel universe for someone who's my age, because like I don't think any situation like that had ever arisen where like, you know, someone who like, you know, basically I got my first boner pretty much, you know, and then I was working in a tattoo shop for the most part, like, and it was that way. Like these guys are like, dude, it was just so vulgar, like it was old school, man. You know, stuff was so much different back then.
Was that
like,
when Doug was still there?
Yeah. And like me and Doug are still close, but like fuck you, Doug Landry, but I love you. You know, because like, dude, like he taught me a lot of really hard lessons, and I owe a lot to the tattooing industry for like turning me from like rude, disrespectful little shit with no work ethic into being who I am today and owning my own business, to be honest. But that's like, awesome. But man, like you want to talk about like getting hazed, like,
Doug man. He was a motherfucker.
I won't get into that.
Him and I,
that's probably shouldn't, but like,
but
dude, like I got my ass kicked every day for years of my life, basically, literally, figuratively, whatever you want to say, it probably applies. And, but it taught me a lot, like, down the road, and now it would never happen. So, like, I'm probably too hard on everybody that works for me for that reason.
Dude, you know what's... So, two things. One, Dan Kelly, literally today, I don't know if you saw his Instagram post, threw up a throwback of when he worked at Venom and was standing...
I knew him then, yeah.
Yeah, he was... So, when he was apprenticing...
Dude, I remember partying with Dan... way the fuck before I could drink.
Really?
Legally.
He's 2 years sober now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's crushing it. He's doing great. He's always been just sick at everything he does. So.
No doubt. But he was standing on the corner of the street in Sanford wearing pink panties.
Oh, yeah, I remember up a sign.
Yeah, I remember that. He posted it today. I was like, holy fuck.
That's a really great... That's a great metaphor to, like, things that I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anything was as publicly embarrassing.
Right.
God bless you, Dan, for that. As that, but like, dude, like, I mean, yeah, it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot, but like, it all comes down to good work ethic and like, you know, like mopping a floor every day, doing it wrong, doing it again every day. Yeah. Maybe you did it right, but you're doing it again.
You're still doing it again.
You know? It's like, it's whatever. And I was still in school, man. So I was still going to school, and like, I'd go there, bust my ass, whatever. So I was trying to play music at that same time. Those guys were teaching me a lot, kind of talking me off a fucking ledge, because I was definitely on one during that time in my life. Yeah. And like, kind of shitty, I guess. But one day, Howell played with JV, and DJ was like watched me play, and he was like, dude, you're sick. Like, fuck these losers. Like, let's just start a band. Honestly, that's how it went. And like, they were not losers. They never were. They're fucking great. But I was like, you know what? That's kind of more my style. So I just went with them.
Yeah.
And like, at that time, like, I don't know, that was more the big leagues to me, because like we were just playing way more. But like, and you know, Jules Verne was like more like, party, work less kind of a band. And treated things a little bit more laid back. And that probably wasn't great for me. But everybody loved them. Like, they already had an established following. It was a lot of fun. And, like, those dudes and me, like I said, we're still family.
Yeah.
So.
Can you drop a little bit of information on me here?
For sure.
So, DJ
Maybe.
definitely... What?
I said maybe.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I'll ask the question. Answer it if you can. But DJ definitely always saw me as, like, the kid, the fanboy, because, like I said, I was. So he never really, like, took me seriously, which is totally fine. Later,
Yeah, he's a hard ass, I mean.
Yeah. So, even if I booked the show and I gave you guys, like, $500 to play or, like, whatever, he would be respectful, but, like, wouldn't let me into the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah. So one day I asked
old
him... exactly.
Just
yeah,
how shit was,
Yeah, which,
I dealt with that same shit
Yeah.
when I was, like, you had to earn it. Like,
For sure.
no matter what it was.
Yeah.
Back in that day, especially in the music scene, but in any walk of life, especially things we were associating, like, wanting to be a part of.
Yeah.
Like, the tattoo industry, like, music, all of that.
So I asked him one day, I was like, what is... Because Nikki Nightmare. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I was like, what the fuck is Nikki's actual last name? And he didn't want to tell me.
I can't even say that shit. Just because I can't pronounce it. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, it's some crazy
He told me he was because he was fucking with me. He was like Nikki Bloodfist, and then Morgan was like, he was like, it's plural.
Man,
It's
that
blood
makes sense
fists.
to where that, right? Yeah.
And so I just wanted to know if you knew, and if you knew, I wanted to fucking know what it was.
I mean, I think he lived up to that reputation at that time too. To be honest with you, that should have been his last name.
Can you embellish a little bit?
Dude, after touring with them, like, man, they're a bunch of fucking animals. All those dudes, Morgan, Nikki, like, I saw some stuff. I'm like, dude, you guys are just wild. Like, I'm just like a kid. I'm like, drank too much Four Loko, like, sitting in the sidelines.
when it
like,
was still 12% too.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, real Four Loko. Shit, man.
Dude, Jesse and
Gross.
I used to mix
Oh, he's probably told me this, dude.
the Captain Morgan and Four Locos.
Yeah, he's told me about
Yeah,
this. Man.
dude, him and
you
I-
guys are savages.
Yeah,
Respect.
we just fucking. Oh my god, you want to talk about partying, dude?
Crushed.
Not to like discredit anybody else's partying. I'm not swinging a dick here, but Jesse and I were fucking so stupid back in the day.
Crazy.
Yeah, like we would. we lived together, and I didn't have a car or a license, but I was always the one that had to drive the fucking van.
Yeah, dude.
That checks out, right?
I just like put that right on the table. I was like, dude, like, and now I throw my boat around all the time, but
Yeah.
it's like, and yeah, that shit's hard. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to do that, but I was like, listen, like, you don't want me to do this. There's a lot of money in there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that was an understanding, you know.
Well, I was always like the designated drunk driver. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if I got pulled, I had nothing to lose. I wasn't going to lose my license. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have anything, so they just
It's
made me
fair.
do it all the time. But
Fair.
Jesse and I, we'd be like sitting on the couch at like 5 p.m. and he'd be like, "Oh, there's a show in Connecticut in 2.5 hours." I'm like, all right, well, I got to work at 7 in the morning.
Let's go.
Can we make it? He's like, we can make it. You know, and we would. We'd fucking go to Connecticut and we'd fucking rage, meet all kinds of people, go to a house party after, you know, and I'd be at work at 7 o'clock the next morning. I would lose literal hours of the night, but I'd still be at work, you know? And he is such a good friend. I shouldn't say is. Like, he's the kind of guy that would drop me off at work, 7 in the morning. I was working at a kitchen at the time, and he would just take a nap in the parking lot and wait for me. You know, 5, 6, 7 hours.
Still that type of guy.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he'll always be that guy too.
Everybody, dude, everybody that like is still in my like circle of friends, I would consider someone that would do that. I think, and that's like as you get older, like the type of people that stay around versus like the satellite friends that kind of just go into space.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like who's really got your back?
Sure, absolutely.
And dude, that's an everyday struggle. I mean,
Yeah.
who really knows who has anyone's back these days? But like this year's shown a lot of that. Like true colors have
Yeah.
come out.
Especially like,
For
and no pun intended, but like a cutthroat business like yours,
Right.
where, you know, the industry rotates so quickly. People bounce around to
does, yeah.
shops, you know, and you've got somebody that still works at your shop that was there from day one. You
Oh,
know?
dude,
Do you know
yeah,
how
I
many?
mean-
Do you know how many people can say that?
A lot, and I mean, like I think a lot of people like
Really?
'cause, I mean, dude, you
I would
gotta
dis-
have
I would
you gotta have
disagree.
like dude. There's like the backbone and like, man, I just have a problem when I hire my friends and like they just won't leave. But, I mean, like
they won't leave.
dude. Like I could not do like anything that I do. Period. Like first of all, without my wife, like I mean, she takes care of me every day. She basically lives with 2 toddlers for the most part because she takes care of my ass. But
That's your wife?
Yeah, totally.
What is her name?
Elizabeth. Yep.
How long you guys
She's
been
great.
married?
We have been married for 6 years.
Really?
Yep.
No kidding.
But that's coming up in September. But
Yeah.
5 right now,
Yeah.
so almost 6. And then my son is 4, Nixon. But I couldn't do anything without them.
Nixon?
Obviously. Yeah, Nixon.
That's a solid name.
Yeah.
That's the only watch I wear.
Yeah, he's rad. Me too.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always liked that. I saw this like random dude. I don't even follow him anymore. Like he named his kid that. I was like, that's such a cool name. Like, I love Nixon watches.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
I've talked to Nixon, like the actual company, a few times. I'm like, dude, sponsor me. Like my kid's named after you.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
I mean,
maybe not. But
how many Instagram
then they're like,
followers
yeah,
do you
okay,
have?
whatever.
You gotta have 30,000.
Me?
Yeah, don't you?
Dude, get out.
Or maybe the barbershop?
No way. Neither.
Seriously?
Not even close. I definitely don't have 10. Maybe 8. 7.
I typed in. I started typing black, and blacked came up first. Porn.
Oh shit. All right, cool.
Okay, so Blackdoor's got
Porn's cool.
3,500.
It's cool, no judgment.
Curran has Lone Wolves. Yeah, you got 8,000, 7,800.
Nixon's face in that picture is sick.
Yeah, he's grilling. Dude, that's enough followers to fucking get a sponsorship.
I mean, dude, I worked for like my dream company for almost 3 years.
Who's
So for Ruzel Pomade.
That was actually something I was going to ask you. Was
Totally,
if you guys were
Let's talk about it.
were partners, or if you just like backed that brand.
So I mean, Scorum and Ruzel. So Scorum is the barbershop that created Ruzel, but
Yeah.
Ruzel was basically the backbone of Black Door. Like pretty much as soon as I opened, like, and our rep he's no longer like associated with anything with hair at all, but he was a really good friend of mine, and he was like, hey, like they're having an opening for an educator. Like, I don't see anyone else do what you do. Like, you should just do it. And I applied for it. Long story short, I had like a really rigorous training. It was a lot, and I ended up in Chicago for a while and trained down there, and then I got that position. So I was basically just an educator for that brand, and I went all over the damn place and taught locally a lot too. But
I remember seeing you posting about being in different places and like teaching people how to cut hair or like whatever it was you were doing.
for sure.
I honestly just thought it was because, so I obviously don't know how it works, your business.
Me
right?
either.
Okay, fair enough. So we're on a level playing field. But like you get guest tattoo artists, you know what I mean, that travel and go to different shops. So I kind of thought like that was just what you were doing. Like I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. No, I've done that. Like I mean, like
Is that a thing
with
barbering?
like Pugsley's and stuff. Like I've gone down there and like done stuff. Like he's really cool. But yeah. I mean totally it is. It's kind of a weird gray area. But no, I mean like for Ruzel, like basically like people would kind of earn through buying product like the opportunity to be educated.
Yeah.
And I mean I would have a training once a year. I'm like. Among like people I couldn't look up to more in the industry, and that's actually how I met Becca, who works at Black Door now. She works there one day a week, but she developed like the education program for wall clippers, which is debatably the biggest education program in America, or clipper company, in America. And like she was someone who trained me to become a part of Ruzel. So she lived in Chicago at that time. And then she ended up moving to Portland, and now she works at the shop. She's still with them, and like, she's still been active and doing stuff for them. But I kind of stepped away last year just because stuff was crazy, and it still is.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not prepared to travel. Like I just wanted to put all of my time, energy, and effort into my family, because they're great and they deserve it. And my business, like I've worked way too hard to not give every second I have to that.
What was it like being a business owner going through this last year? I mean, because there were months, 4 or 5 months, where you just couldn't be open.
Yeah, I mean,
what kind of
like,
support did you get?
So we only closed for 2 months.
Oh, 2 months.
I mean,
okay.
yeah, but I mean that's enough to like really mess you up.
Well, for
having
sure.
a business in
Yeah.
Portland, for sure. And I mean, like it wasn't like you're gonna be closed from this day to this day. It was like just
we'll see.
Pushing appointments back the whole time. Like, it was crazy, dude. It was it's still crazy. Like, it's been so uncertain. You know, we went back into work wearing biohazard suits, and, you know, now we're just wearing masks. It's like, what do you really want? But, I mean, I'm nothing but respectful to the pandemic and all of that. Like, especially, like, I recently went through it. Right. So, like, that was crazy. But, I mean, it was a hit, you know? And, like, that was my third year of business last year. Yeah. So that's, like, technically when you're supposed to make or break, like, everything. Yeah. And, I mean, it set me back a lot. It's really frustrating. But, I mean, what else can you do but just move forward and not look back? Mm-hmm. It was a lot.
Did you get... I mean, are you? You're a business owner, so you're not
right, but
you're not 1099 like your guys.
Oh no, right? I'm 1099.
You are too.
Everybody is.
So
every single person that works for me is like booth rental only.
So
everybody
wouldn't have even qualified for.
I don't even know about the PPP, man.
Yeah,
because like that's just it's not me.
Sure.
You know, like and I'm the last one to ever be like, hey, I need some money. You know, like what do you think about that, dude? It's like there are other people that I need way more than I even did. Even if I had like $500 in my bank account, you know, like I just try to figure something else out to like keep my family and my business going and just make it work because like I'm not gonna ask you. But you know, like we did get, which was cool for the first time ever, like I think like a G or something from unemployment, which is like weird because we're not employed by anyone, you know, we're our own boss. But so that was cool. But that was it. Yeah. Yep. It's like you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to take time off right now, because if you're not, then you shouldn't even be working because you're going to go back to work. Someone's going to have contact tracing. You're going to have to close. Right. Everyone's going to have to stop. Yeah. You're not going to make your rent. I mean, like, you know, I'm a landlord to 6 other people. Yeah. And believe me, like nobody paid me a dime because like that just wouldn't be right. Oh wow! Through that situation, you know, and I still paid to keep other people to keep my doors open. Yeah, but
that's so fucking crazy, dude. Like I have a lot of friends that are business owners. Most of them in the like food and beverage industry,
for sure. And that's a hit, man.
Dude, because the thing is with that is people think that restaurant owners, you know, have 10-bedroom houses and drive fucking Land Rovers. You know, they don't. Like, owning a restaurant is much more in line with...
Some do.
Well, some, yeah, for sure. But I'm talking about Portland. You know what I mean? Most of the people that I know that own restaurants in Portland, like, they make $100,000 a year as an owner-operator. They're still working a full-time fucking job. Like, they're still working their ass off. I wish I made $100,000 a year. Exactly. You know what I mean? But the thing about a restaurant is... when it comes to like loans and stuff, there's so much liquidatable asset that you can write, you know, 500% of your actual value into loans. So their house, their car, tuition, everything is against the restaurant. You know what I mean? It's all through the business. It's all loans through the business. And I know more than one of them that lost their business.
Oh, dude, so many people.
So
many great people this year.
All of that stuff's gone. You know, it's a foreclosure at that point. You're never going to recover from that. Your credit score is never going to recover from that because even though it's through the business, you still typically have to write as a guarantor. You know what I mean? I don't know if you do or don't, but most business owners that put a loan against their business have to sign on as a guarantor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it affects the business
credit. If you're going
to
go to a bank and be like, hey, I need some money, like everything you own, dude, they can take your whole life away. Yeah. I mean, but, dude, I mean, I didn't even, like, my, like, upbringing was weird. And, like, my mom, like, who like pretty much raised me, she was like, she'd never get a credit card. You know? Yeah. Like, and I'm like, I kind of hate her for that now because like, I'm like, shit, like, you know, I could have actually gotten ahead, paid some stuff off, but I don't because like, I mean, I guess like through that time, like I would have been irresponsible anyway. And it's great. You know, now I probably have too many and, but that's the way it goes. Right. Yeah. I mean, but it holds you accountable and like, but, I mean, to me, business is business, and, like, it's just not something to be fucked around with.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you have an appointment and you don't show up, like, you're not just hurting me, you're hurting my family. You're hurting everyone else that works at Black Door. You're hurting my entire business.
Yeah.
And, like, I make that very clear through my booking agent, through my social media posts, through everything.
Yeah.
Like, and I've earned that. You know, I've worked really, really hard for a long time when there was 3 barbershops in the state that could even do a fade. So, I mean, like, it's been a long time. Like,
Yeah.
People should know to be courteous and be respectful, and that's all anyone can ask.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're in front of me at the grocery store, like, please just be courteous, be respectful. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I'd ever ask from anyone. But yeah, I mean, this year sucked. Like, last year sucked. Going into this year, it's already off to a pretty rough start. It's probably going to be like last year. You know, it's like, but we're still busy, dude. Like, I'm grateful to have our doors open. Like, my business is going strong. We're all doing good.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
No doubt. Fuck. Hate my life. Not really.
Dude. Okay, I love that, dude. It's fucking so funny because, like, the dude Nick, fucking, I don't know, man. I'm like so fucking sick when it comes to fishing. Like, my kid will be like on the floor, like, playing with a toy, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm tuning my crankbait," and I'm like, "Fuck my life." Like,
really?
Oh, dude. Like, I mean, it's my life, you know.
Yeah.
Like, all I do is cut hair and just bass fish. That's it. But like it's funny because, like, I listen to one dude in particular, like I said, that I talk to a lot and like follow his stuff. It's like, it's a subculture, like, which is like swim bait fishing, all of that, like, but it's all just skateboarder.
The guy you listen to has a podcast?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Cast and Crank Podcast.
Awesome.
You should definitely follow them and listen to them. They're great. But you kind of have to be into this weird niche, obsessive market of spending too much money on fishing stuff. And
yeah.
it's a rabbit hole. But and I'm sure everybody that is a part of the industry would agree with that. But he's always like drinking beers and like calling his wife, like his kids are in the background, like, yeah, like,
really,
you know, like randomly. I'm not. It's like totally professional, clean cut. But he'll be like, yo, you want another beer? And then he's like, yo, get me another beer.
That's
like,
awesome.
It's like, it's legit. But
I would do the podcast in the house, which is where I'd be able to.
Dude, you kind of have. It's like treat it like work, you know. Like, you're gonna have to have a separate space.
Yeah,
like,
that and some, I guess, like the smoke, you know.
Dude, I would never cut hair, and even in a place that was linked to my house.
No, yeah, that makes
sense. You know,
sense.
like this is different. Like, you know, every single person that's on here, at least
right.
in the fact that they're not gonna kill your family.
For sure. Yeah,
my
my address is in that fucking email I send people. You know
I know,
Like, yeah.
but like, dude,
send it to the wrong person though. You had the wrong.
You're not gonna send that to someone you don't know. Like,
right?
You don't know.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, like, if you're like, Alex was on the podcast, I would have been like, Alex is a serial killer.
Right.
If he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's not. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stoked to listen to that, actually.
It's a good one. Yeah, once he opened up, dude, he was just like machine gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he hadn't had a chance to, like, none of us have really had a chance to, like, sit down and have beers and talk to somebody. You know what I mean?
I'm really, dude, fuck. Like, this year, I've done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this is it, you know, like, but, I mean, like, that's always been kind of.
Where was this?
That was.
Well, first.
That was in October or November this year.
What inspired the mustache?
Oh, dude, I've had like 10 mustaches since we've been wearing masks. I mean, I had one like a couple years. I rock a mustache every once in a while. That was like when it was growing out, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like, my wife hates it. She goes nuts.
Does she?
Oh yeah.
What body of water is this?
I'm not even gonna air that out, but
that's fair. Okay, little secret spot.
It's in the southern Maine area.
Okay.
But that day it was 30 degrees, and bass are warm water, so like,
fuck that.
That's a pretty crazy day. That was actually one of like I think 3 fish I caught that day.
Do you keep these fish? Do you eat them? Or?
Hell no,
no,
dude.
Catch and release.
Nah, dude, that's not cool. And like the like.
Oh, I don't know.
Fish. No,
yeah.
I don't expect you to. But like, dude, like I don't even eat meat. Like.
Oh really?
Yeah. No,
are you
not at all. No fish, no meat.
Vegetarian, vegan, vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Yeah.
So you drink milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I love eggs. And
okay.
Cheese
Eggs,
so
cheese.
much.
Okay.
Couldn't live without them.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I wouldn't like. I like respect like fishing and bass and like like what they bring to me so much. And like there are studies now that show like, me catching that fish like never brought it through any trauma that it would go through in its normal life.
Right.
So like, but there's so much to it, man.
Yeah.
There's so much to it.
Now, how outstretched is your arm in this photo? Is this one of those tricks like you
Dude, I have other pictures of that fish. It
looks fucking
huge.
big, dude.
It really was not as big as it looks, but lengthwise it was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like that was definitely a pretty large post-spawn female bass.
Yeah.
But it was a good time.
I've tried to fish with my kids because like I grew up in Florida. I used to catch sharks. You know what I mean?
Dude, Florida's great for bass fishing too. Shit,
I
wish you did that.
I didn't know that either. But I've caught a ton of sharks, and I've caught like tilapia too. Like
sure.
I used to be able to walk out my back door and catch a tilapia.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
like
dude, like saltwater's like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like my father, I grew up saltwater fishing a lot because my father was a commercial fisherman. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I mean like that was it. Like I got to bass fish like once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got pictures of me like holding bass when I was like a little ass kid.
Yeah.
But like I never even took it seriously until like probably like 5 years ago.
Really?
Ish. Yeah, I mean I just kind of got back into it because like it's like I live on a river now, so like I was
nice.
like right there, and I'm like, dude, like I should just do it again. And then my father-in-law actually like brought me a fishing pole just because like he was like, he wanted to connect with me, and I was like, well, this is super cute, yeah, like let's do it. And like then it re-sparked it, and like I was just like about it.
Yeah.
Since
My kids
then.
hate it, man. And I'm not great at like
Just gotta
again.
catch
I don't
fish.
know.
I'm just kidding.
What's that?
You just gotta catch fish, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like it's all like you get what you give. You know? I think it's great. Like, you should go out and fish with your kids because like it teaches so many lessons, like patience and.
Well, dude, I got into it. Like, I bought a boat and
You had a boat?
I had a boat. I don't have it anymore.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
What'd you have?
Fucked if I know, dude.
Like a canoe, or
No,
are you
no,
talking
like
an
a
aluminum boat, or like a fiberglass boat, or
Fiberglass boat for sure. It
a
had
fiberglass boat? You had
was
like a nitro, like a $30,000
no
Ranger.
No.
All right.
I don't know. No,
I'd be
just
jealous, dude. I'd take that shit.
no. It was like I got off Craigslist, dude. It was like a 15-year-old boat. It had 2 fucking Honda engines on it, which was like I could stand this boat.
What?
Yeah, it was the stupidest thing. I could stand this boat like almost straight up. It was like
Yeah, that's not good.
I know.
No, it's not supposed to do that.
I know. It was like
Complaining.
20 feet long, and I bought a bunch of like Walmart gear. I didn't.
Dude, fuck.
That's
That's crazy.
I had no idea what I was doing, but
So you sold it.
yeah, I sold it at the end of that year because again they just weren't into it. But I grew up like fathers are supposed to teach their kids how to fish and hunt, and I was like, so I'm gonna take a swing at it.
I don't. My dad was a hunter. I never hunted.
Yeah, I love hunting, but we went out.
I have no problem with it either. But
We also don't like.
I'm not
I
gonna
eat
eat
what
it.
I kill. Exactly. Yeah. You know the landing in Richmond, Maine.
yep.
Yeah. So that's I lived in Richmond for like a year or two, so I was familiar with. Again, I have to be familiar with the area.
Totally.
So I drove from fucking Portland to Richmond to get out into the water, and
Portland to Richmond.
I had the kids wearing like the full body fucking swimmer, the life jacket things, like not just the strap on
Yeah,
ones, but the ones
you
that
actually have to. It's a lot.
well, they have to at least wear a life jacket. But I'm talking,
Yeah,
I'm talking
okay,
about like
alright.
it was like a wetsuit with
Like waders.
pads in it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like it was like a full body fucking like there was floaty pads in the legs and arms as well as the chest. Like
Fair. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like,
because I can't swim at all.
it is not to be fucked around.
Yeah.
with. You can't swim.
I can't swim at all.
Interesting.
So-
a lot of people can't. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like that's something that's taken for granted. But I mean,
You can swim?
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't own a boat if I couldn't swim, dude. Shit, man. It's still sketchy, no matter what water you're on, like,
Yeah.
you have to be ready. It's like driving a car. Like, if you can't drive a car, you shouldn't drive a car.
sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, same thing. Like, I mean, like, you'd be fine if you had a life jacket on, but, like, I just wouldn't want to be in that situation.
No.
But a lot of people's, like, parents never thought to do that.
Well, in Florida, in 2nd grade, it's mandatory. The school teaches you how to swim.
There's a lot of water in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Maine,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And back then I could swim, and now I can't. I don't know. Like I can't. I'm not even being lazy. Like I try to swim and I go.
I mean, it's
I don't.
hard, dude. Like, Like, I can't really keep up, man. I fucking sneeze and it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't even walk up my stairs without getting winded.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, not really, but really. And it's like, like that, it is really hard work, but, at least I know, like, if the situation arose, like, I'd be all right, I suppose.
Yeah. So both my boys love swimming, by the way. Those motherfuckers could swim like 3 miles out.
It's so good
I mean?
for you, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, and being in the water is great. Like, I mean, we live in an unfortunate area to swim in because the water is very cold.
They have so much water and it's so cold.
Yeah, it's all very cold.
Yeah.
All the time, pretty much. All the time.
Yeah.
Besides last year. Last year was warm as hell. I hope it's that way this year. But
So we're fishing off this fucking boat in Richmond, and I don't even know if there's fish there. I actually don't even know if it's legal to fish where I am. You know what I mean? Like, I know nothing.
fair. Did you have a license?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've taken hunter's ed, so
man,
like I
good
know where
man.
to buy the licenses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, the combo's, I think, cheaper anyway, right?
Yeah.
If you buy both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're out there, and my oldest, Carter, this was a couple years ago. He's almost 10 now. I think he's like 6 or something. But he cast out a couple of times. I cast out a couple of times. And then he's like, I'm going to cast off the other side because I'm facing one way. All three of us were. And he's like, I'm going to cast over there. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I cast. Rowan cast. And I don't hear Carter cast. And he's like, dead silent. So as I turn around, I just see him cannonball off the boat. He's like, I don't want to fish anymore. I want to go swimming. And that was like the end
Dude,
of that.
I mean, you and I were probably the same way when we were kids.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Dude, I guarantee you the only reason my son is so into it, like, is because of how it is for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and, like, to actually be successful, like, and it takes a long time to realize this. You're going to think I'm crazy if I say this, but, like, there's just so much that goes into it. Like rod length, rod weight, the type of bait, the weight of the bait, your line size, your line type, if your lure is scented versus unscented, salted or unsalted, soft plastic, hard bait, treble hook, Texas rig. I won't even start.
You could have made up everything you just said, and I wouldn't know the difference.
Right. It's endless. Like,
Yeah.
you can, and I have just, put so much time into that. And, like, it's cool, though, because, like, it's worth it to be successful.
Sorry, 1 second.
You're fine.
Hello?
Dude, you're going to... This is not course.
I know. She's taking fucking forever. Man. As soon as she gets
You
here...
better be good at Photoshop, too.
No, I'm not. What's going to happen is she's going to walk in the door with the beer, and it's going to go to an edit, and then the next shot's going to be all course lights on the table again.
Yeah.
You know?
Then the podcast actually starts.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
All right, dude. Pompadours.
Pompadours.
Are these a real thing?
What's not to love? Hell yeah.
All
Just
right,
did
so
one.
I've never personally had one. Like, I went to Cordell, which used to be right next to where you are.
Yeah, dude, he's an OG.
Yeah, I went to him forever. I met him at a bar, and he doesn't even drink.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Well, at the time he wasn't drinking. I don't know if he doesn't drink.
I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah. I met him at a bar, Matthews, actually, downtown. Yeah, makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
And I had a haircut, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, like
He was like, dude, that's every barber does that, man.
Really?
All cuts your hair, dude. I mean, give us like 5 beers, yeah, totally.
Oh, for sure. Okay. But he walked up to me.
You have
And
a nice fade.
he's like, I didn't though. Like I just had like a Walmart haircut. You know what I mean? At the time, like haircut. This was
Or I mean, your
9
haircut might
years
have
ago.
sucked,
It probably did.
and he might have been trying to tell you that.
Yeah. So he comes up to me. And he's like, he's talking about my beard. He's talking about my hair. He's like, all these things we could do. He's like, you really had to come see me. And I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, is this a typical bar conversation? I'll never see you again, or like, do you mean it? Three
It's
or
like
four.
starting a relationship.
Yeah,
That's what it
dude,
sounds
it
like.
is.
Shit. Whoa.
So 3 or 4 days later, I go down to Cordell's, and I'm the only white guy there. And it's like weird when I walked in. They all looked at me. You know what I mean?
Sounds right.
And I was like, oh, fuck. And then he looks up from what he's doing, and he goes, I know you. And I was like,
I'd remember you.
yeah. I was like, yeah, you invited me. I talked to you like a couple nights ago. You invited me here. He's like, take a seat. I'm like, well, now I'm locked in. You know, and everyone saw him tell me to sit down. So I sit down, and he finishes the cut he's doing, skips the whole line, puts me in the chair. And I was like, you're going to get me killed, man. Like, not because it's all black people, but because no one wants
for
to
sure,
fucking
yeah,
wait for their
yeah.
haircut. And So I'm like, all right. So I like sit down, and he cuts my hair like the way he thinks it's supposed to be cut, and it looks fucking dope. And that was my first time like getting like hard part,
Probably a fade, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
It was a skin fade to a hard part. My beard was all lined up, but it was like lower, like the way it's done in those types of shops.
Totally. Yeah. Crispy.
Yeah. And
What was that?
that was the beer delivery.
All right.
And
Fair enough.
and then I went to him forever, and it was funny. Like my third or fourth visit there, he literally said to me, "You're the reason I had to buy these scissors," because he didn't have scissors in the shop. Like I guess it's just like not something he uses, which was kind of cool. And then some shit went down there, and I had to find somebody else. And then I went to Sam Weldon for a couple of years. He just opened his own store in Rockland. I honestly don't remember the name, or I'd say it. And now I go to Black Door.
For sure.
So
Yeah, probably no comment on Sam Weldon for me.
you want to get into it?
No, I mean he doesn't want to get into it. There was
What? Tell me.
you can totally not cut this out or anything.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
It was
it.
just like mad disrespect from him. I don't even know him. Never met him.
Oh.
But yeah, there was like a time when I think like he might have worked at my old shop or something. I don't know him, but he like randomly one day like didn't follow him, and I just got like a request to message me, and it was like basically telling me I was trash.
What?
And yeah, I mean unwarranted, like, so I mean we won't get into it, but like I have no respect for him.
That's so weird. He's like such a jovial. Like I feel like him and I are very similar.
Like, I would never do that to anybody.
No,
like
ever.
It's all love
Yeah, that's so
all
weird.
the time. Like,
So
so that's cool
he I know he worked at like Goodfellas and then like one of the other bigger names in Portland.
for sure.
Like Blind Pig, is that a big one?
Maybe now. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, but dude, I've been there through all of that, and I've worked really hard, and I put out work that I'm pretty confident in.
Yeah.
So, like, it's disrespect. It hurts, Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and I'm not the type to sit there and just like respond to, like negative haze all day because I'd go nuts. But like when it's someone that's local and it's like that, it's like, dude, you don't even know me. You don't know what I do. Like. You can see my work. If you think that's the way it is, that's your opinion. But
Well, have you heard about like the other shit that do you know why he's no longer in Portland?
I have no idea now.
So
I know nothing about this dude besides the fact that out of nowhere, he decided to bring negative energy into my life and tell me that I wasn't good at what I was doing.
Right.
That I've
that
worked,
sucks.
Yeah. most of my life to accomplish.
That's so whack.
It was not cool, but that's funny. Like, I actually don't think I've known anybody that's gotten a haircut by him.
Oh, really?
Besides you.
No
yeah,
shit.
I mean, like, which is weird, but I guess I'm not asking either.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I'm going to fix the beer situation, and then I'm going to tell you why he no longer works in Portland.
Yeah, do it up. I'm, like, still very impressed that you have a crank. It's like crazy. Dude, I mean, Pantera's like so sick. Like, people underrate Pantera so fucking much. Like, and like Dimebag. Like, I mean, I'm more into like. Honestly, now I feel so old because someone's like, "Hey, what do you listen to when you're like not at work?" And I'm like, honestly, like I had to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, which is bad. Like, and that's how like we all have too much on our mind because like music is a forefront thought all the time, right? But
sure.
like it's like. I was like, honestly, like, probably only like 60s to 90s punk and podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen to fucking
I'm like,
so
fuck,
many podcasts.
I'm so grumpy and old.
Yeah.
And like, shit. Like, but I mean, like, yeah, like Pantera, Metallica, like, the Misfits, The Clash. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, how I fucking grew up. Black Flag.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like especially like skateboarding, tattoos, like all the cool shit, like but it's not like I'm like not like I listen to some new music, like I love like Converge and all that, like and people that continue to make good records, but it's like fuck man, like someone's like, dude, like quarantine was kind of cool for me. Like I got to like research new music. I'm like, dude, I'm not even interested. Like listening to new music. Like,
Dude, same.
I'm kind of like, no.
Sometimes I'll hear like, I definitely don't pursue new music, But every now and then I'll hear like one song, and I'm like, I have to know who this is.
Your homies, yeah, and I mean like
No, not even homies. You're like, do you know the band Polaris?
no.
No, so they're
Dude, don't even ask me. Don't even
That's
do
fine.
like
They're just-
I'm gonna
they're
say
just
no, and I'm
another-
gonna feel old and
they're just another Australian like metalcore band. You know,
Austrian Death Machine.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's
Yeah.
the only like Australian like death metal band I know.
Yeah.
Like they did that Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You know that Kevin Billingsley's brother is. I shouldn't drop this as a fact because I might be wrong. I think Kevin Billingsley's brother is the guitar player for that band.
No, he's not.
Hold on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Call Kevin Billingsley.
Dude, what? No way.
Hold on. I don't know if he'll answer.
Dude, also, side note, did you just hear about, I think Kevin dropped it, about Lamb of God? He did, like, a while ago. I'm pretty sure that he, like, was recording Lamb of God in Maine.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
He's not gonna fucking answer. He's like, why is he calling me right now? Or he's in session.
He's not in session.
You reached Kevin Billingsley at the Halo
Fuck you,
Studio.
Kevin.
I'm sorry.
God damn it, Kevin!
We forgot Kevin!
Dude, you know how many phone calls I've tried to fucking make on my podcast? And you know how many I've actually gone through? I think the ratio is like 10-1 right now. Or no, 1-10. One win, 10 losses.
Dude, nobody calls anybody anymore.
I know,
Come on,
it's such a
man.
weird thing to do.
Get it together. Yeah, just to let you know, we have Coors Light on the table, so. Shout out Coors.
Yeah, love Coors Light. I never liked it before, but when like
Beer's beer.
I love going to bars, right?
Same.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a bar? I don't even know now.
Well, dude, here's the thing: when like all
been
the
to a
bars
bar
shut
in a long
down,
time.
all the chain restaurants still were able to like stay open, which sucks. I would much rather go to a bar than a chain. But Applebee's, bro, was fucking open through the whole thing.
Dude, Applebee's has always been lit. Let's be honest.
Oh, okay,
Like,
dude, I'm glad you
dude.
agree. And from 9 till close, they do fucking $2 Coors Lights.
Dude, if you go north of Portland, I mean, Applebee's is pretty much the only place to get a beer.
that's 100% true.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I remember like some dude, Robbie, like one of my best friends, Rob Norton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like family to me. But
He
I,
hates me.
what? No.
Yeah.
Robbie doesn't hate anybody.
Robbie,
No,
you
he
got
doesn't.
unblocked on all of his socials. I promise you, we were kids, granted,
Oh,
but
man.
he tried.
I hate my laugh.
He tried to hit up Crystal
Gross.
one time. And,
No way.
And I came
I don't believe
on
it. I don't
fucking.
believe it. You
Rob
guys, had a
Norton?
you guys had a misunderstanding. It'd be squashed. As adults, it'd be
As adults, probably.
water in the
Like I
bridge.
said, this happened so long ago, and I've been blocked the whole time.
That dude has no bad bones in his body. I promise.
Call him.
I promise.
No,
Dude,
no.
I would. He's not going to answer. He's
Yeah.
actually about to have a baby.
Oh really?
Like, I mean, he just announced it, but
Yeah.
he's doing really good. Best I've ever seen him do.
That's awesome.
And I guarantee you, like,
Dude, he used to come to every party at my house. Like him and I, we were like pretty, not like boys, but we
were
were
you
definitely
like really close? Like,
close. Dude, I mean, how many people do you invite to your house? You know what I mean? Like,
depends who you are.
yeah. Well, so when I have a party at my house, it's like 10 or 15 people, and it's like always the same,
Yeah, okay.
same
That's
10 or
fair.
15 people, and yeah, he used to come to my house every fucking time. Like, half the crew would bail, but he would always be there. You know, so like we were getting close.
I don't know what that says about him. But
Yeah, right.
like,
Yeah.
He's like always there.
Yeah.
Like, get
I'll
out,
always
dude.
drink.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
No. He's such a good guy.
Mm.
I definitely think like if you talk to him now, like, dude, because there's so many people like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and even like Sam, I was just saying, like, if he was like, hey, dude, like I really shouldn't have said that. Like, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
Like, just like as long as you acknowledge that and you're like, dude, like that was stupid. Like, what's the sense in holding a grudge against anybody?
That's
We have all, dude. My life is mistakes.
I feel you.
Honestly, the whole everything. And I continue to make them, and I always will. And but like if you can't move on and accept those and learn from those, then like you're just never gonna get better.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be a better person. You're never gonna move to the next step. You're never gonna accomplish anything.
Yeah. That's
And
definitely-
but beef in general, like we live in Maine, it's such a small state. Everybody has beef with someone.
Right.
Man. Like, and like some of Mark's friends too, like, because Mark is like such a social guy. Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Mr. fucking lovable. He really is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, it really kicks him in the ass a lot because, like, then, like, I would be hanging out with Mark like years ago, and like we're drinking beer and like everything's cool, and then he's like, oh, dude, like, so and so's here, and I'm like, what? Like, and then he's like, yeah, I invited so and so. Like, it's all good. Like, they're here, and I'm like, I fucking hate that dude. And he's like, why do you hate him? And I'm like, I don't know. I just hate him.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that dude. And he's like, well, what proof do you have? I'm like, nothing.
I don't
And
need
then,
it.
like, like, just looking back, it's like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Because they did nothing to me. It's like, oh, I just didn't like them. I didn't like their face.
Yeah.
Like, their life's too short,
Do you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
One of
Hell
the
yeah,
one of the
dude.
big things I took away from that show for whatever reason was when Aaron Paul's character was trying to like leave town,
Yeah.
and oh fuck, no, it was Walt's. I don't know. One of them was trying to leave town with that vacuum guy, and the vacuum guy wouldn't
The
pick.
vacuum guy.
You know what I
yeah.
mean, though.
Dude, the sketchy vacuum guy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the vacuum guy didn't pick him up, and he was like, "Why the fuck didn't he pick me up?" And he was like, "I don't know. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was this. Maybe he didn't like the cut of your jib." And like that line is like always stuck in my head. So like what you're saying, I just didn't like him. Like I just didn't like. The
I
cut.
mean, dude, and first impressions are everything, and I'm sure you
100%.
get that a lot. Like, you have like tattoos, like you can see sometimes, and like if someone doesn't judge you, like they're judging you.
Yeah.
Like, everybody judges you, and it's like, oh wow, tattoos are acceptable. Like, it's 2021.
Right.
Everything is okay. No, it's fucking not.
100% not. Yeah.
Like, nothing is okay.
Yeah.
And there is still that generation, and there will be until my son has probably fulfilled his life. Like, our kids. Like, it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
Like, anytime soon. Not in this.
You don't think so?
Turn
You
of
don't
the
you don't think the
century.
boomers are the end of that?
I doubt it.
Because it's the
Like,
it's
just because, like, there's always going to be someone, dude. There's always going to be someone that's that opinionated, that has that opinion. And
Yeah.
you have to respect it and just embrace it and move on.
yeah.
Because if you waste your time hanging on it, like I was saying, like, there are so many, there's so much hate. Like, there's so much negativity
Yeah.
all the time, everywhere. If you have social media, like, I run my business page poorly and my own page, and it's like, it's a lot of work, and like, you're always going to have that feedback.
Dude, why don't you have Jesse do it? He loves that shit.
He's too busy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
we're all too busy, man.
Yeah.
But like, if I can get a post in once a month, I'm good.
Oh, really? You're happy with
on,
that?
on the business page. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like, if you know, you know. And if you know, come in.
Yeah,
But,
I like that.
I mean, like, you can reflect our business page through everyone else that works there, too. And, like,
Yeah.
I would like to think that people that work there would post more. Hopefully they watch this and they see that. So, like, it's hard to generate content. Like, it's a full-time job.
Dude, when
And it's
when
like,
this episode comes out, just fucking run it in the shop.
dude, seriously. I mean, like I put $0 into, like, advertising for my business because, like, when me and John started it, we were both, like, I was booked 2 months when I opened
Yeah.
Black Door. 2 months
That's fucking
straight,
incredible.
Now I'm booked 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's a given. I'm very grateful to be booked those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you how grateful I am. But, like, I didn't really need to generate, like, more business
Right.
for my business.
Yeah.
But social media kind of carried itself, and that's the best tool. So I hope you use that for the podcast and everything, too.
Yeah, I mean,
mean-
as far as advertising for this goes, like it's so small right now that you being here will help me more than it'll help you right now. You know what I mean? Like when the episode comes out and you share it, maybe a couple of your coworkers share it. I don't know. Maybe your wife
I hope
shares
so.
it. Me too. That will get this episode more views than me just releasing an episode. But I hope that after a year, 2 years of doing this, it's all going to compile. Everyone's sharing, and the audience is only going to grow based on who I have here. I hope that I can get big enough to where, like, I bring somebody on and it helps them. Because, like, this is unscripted. The whole purpose of this episode is to talk about you, just like every other episode. My purpose of
For
the
sure.
episode is to talk about the person across the table. Because I don't got shit going on. I want to know what you have going on. So yeah, I don't.
I mean, likewise, though. Like, it's like, like, it's all just the same. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I'm, like, talking to Jesse before I did this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, It's just like, dude, I like probably seem pretty cool on social media, but like we're all just fucking losers, man. Like it's like honestly, at the end of the day, like
You are probably you probably do know this, but you intimidate people. Probably think you're cool, 100%, but people are also
hope
wildly
so, man.
intimidated by you.
but why?
I don't know.
Like,
Well,
it's
I mean,
like,
come on,
it's
but why?
whatever, dude?
Because you had like Coke can sized ears. You've worked in all like
Yeah, I
the.
did do that,
You've had all the
yeah.
like the scary jobs. You know, you worked at a tattoo parlor. You know, a barber. Like those are all like.
Dude,
the,
that was scary as fuck. They should be scared.
exactly.
You know, like fuck.
Yeah. So like anyone that's like known you for a while that doesn't like know you, you know, like I've seen you 100 times on the street and like maybe I'll wave at you, you know, and it's just that intimidation fact. Like you are such a notable person and it's so well known that you have gone through so much.
I mean, dude, like it's probably the same way you treat it. You know, like if you know someone, you know someone, but like if not, just stay 6 feet away from me all the time, and it's like shit's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like that's pretty much the way it is. But it's not like that. You know, like I would never be mean to someone for no reason.
Right.
Like, and plenty of people are mean to me for no reason.
That sucks.
But
I hate that.
it's just, dude, like, I mean, I remember like in like the early 2000s, like people coming up and like trying to like touch my tattoos. I was in Canada one time and like I was like super hungover, and this like lady didn't even know where tattoos were. She was like from like another country and like didn't understand and like tried to touch me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And like she's like, "Cause like please don't touch me ever."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But she's like trying to explain like what she's saying. She's speaking English, like she spoke French, and she was like pointing to my tattoo. She like put together permanent, and I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, she's talking about my tattoos. My friend Mike's wife, she's like, be nice, like you're grumpy, you're mean, like just be nice. I'm like, oh, you're right, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, permanent. Like, it doesn't come off. And she's like, can I touch you? I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's so, dude,
Leave me alone.
I have such a problem with that.
Or, like, people with my ears, like, trying
Yeah.
to just, like, coming up
Stick
behind
shit
me.
in 'em.
It's, I'm like, dude, come on, get real.
Yeah.
Or, like, even as rude as, like, people walking down 4th Street when I worked downtown, like, in the Old Port, and, like, just being like, oh, that's nice. Like, how many years in jail did you do? Like,
Damn.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, none.
Yeah.
I've never been to jail. Ever.
Never?
Ever.
Good for you, man.
I've never been arrested. But
Not even arrested. Detained?
never.
Wow.
Never. Times I should have been, for sure. We won't talk about that.
I have this problem, like, talking about, like, being downtown. For whatever reason, like, I have the face. I don't know how, because I've spent a lot of money on trying to look like the person you can't approach. You know what I mean? But I have this face of, like, please ask me for fucking directions or $1. You know, and
You look like a nice guy, dude. You
do
know,
I? That
like,
sucks.
You do.
That's not what I'm
You
going
do,
for.
I'm sorry. But I feel the same way about fucking DJ when I look at DJ.
Yeah.
You know, and like nobody else feels that way about DJ.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, like when you like get a good read on someone, like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And going back to first impressions, I mean,
Dude, I was in Kansas City like 18 months ago, 6 months before the shutdown, and again, just granted, you couldn't even see my tattoos. I was in a full suit, gold watch, super skinny tie. You know, like I was there for work.
right, business.
Yeah, and
Selling coke. I'm just kidding.
yes,
What you described.
I'd
No.
make more money. I'm walking down the
Wouldn't we
street.
all?
Yeah, and these two guys, I can see them because like when you're walking around, especially if you're from Portland, when you're walking around, you're looking for transients. Like when do I have to cross the road? When can I not have this fucking conversation I'm about to have?
Pretty much.
So you see them from like a long way away. So it's like 500 feet up the road, like half a block up the road, a big city block, you know. And I'm like, all right, they're not talking to literally anybody. I get within like 6 feet of them, and it's like, hey, brother. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, welcome to Portland, man.
And
That's it, though.
he was like, you're an entrepreneur. I can tell. You an entrepreneur. And I'm like, nah, man, I work for a corporation. Not self-made at all. Nothing like that. You know, half these clothes they bought. And he's like, nah, man, you got the mind. Like, you're industry-minded. Like, you grind, you make money, you
dude,
hustle.
that's when you just fucking walk away.
But I can't. And that's the other part of
Gotta
me.
keep
Is I
going,
can't.
dude.
And he's like,
Oh.
just give me 20. Like, it just finally came around. He's like, just give me $20, man. I know you got
Yeah.
20. And I was like, I don't. I have a company card.
Dude, $20. That's like
That's an aggressive ask.
crazy, dude.
And I was still
that's
smoking
me.
butts at the time.
Like a cigarette, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like. Shit,
and I was
dude.
I was
I'll
smoking.
give you half this heater.
And he was like, all right, man, just give me like 4 or 5 cigarettes. And I'm like,
4 or 5,
Yes.
dude. What is?
I was
this
like,
guy?
honestly, dude, I should be giving you a job because you're asking for
Yeah,
everything.
dude, that's
Like,
messed up. That's
yeah.
messed up. That's Portland, though, man. I'm like, man, especially working downtown. It's like, I was like on my phone one time. I remember, and this was like outside the barbershop I worked at the time, and like, I was just texting. I was like minding my own business. You know, I think I was like repping a heater, just chilling.
Yeah.
And this dude's like, oh wow. He like came. He had a backpack on. He looked normal though. Like he had like newer New Balance, whatever. I'm like, okay, he's probably not a scumbag.
Sure.
And like, he's like, oh wow, is that like the iPhone 6 or some shit? I don't know, because that was like what was relevant at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like, and he's like, wow, I have the same one. Hey, can I use yours? And I was like, fuck no, dude. You have the same phone.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're not going to let me use your phone? And I was like, no, dude, move on. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then, like, he just, like, full on tried to, like, fight me pretty much, like, outside the shop. And, like, everyone was, like, coming out and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, dude, they're like, what happened? What'd you say to him? I'm like, he just asked, like, if I had an iPhone 6. And, like, that was it. That's all it takes in Portland. The homeless population's, like, just crazy down there
Yeah.
now, dude. It's nuts.
Can you
and I
fight?
feel for them, but...
Can you fight?
I mean, I have, but man, that's been like a long time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't now. It's not worth it. It's never worth it.
So, yeah, I agree with you. Like,
I mean, like back in the day, like I did some stuff that was stupid, you know, and you did too. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why would I now? You know, it's like,
well, Valentine's Day last year, you know, so I'm 29, so I was 28 or something like that, you know. The big fat tattooed dad, you know, like that's my persona now. Like I don't fight anymore. Like I'm not a scrapper. Like I don't look for it.
dude, once you have kids, nothing's worth it. You want to go to jail? No,
Exactly.
You don't,
Yeah.
man. Do you want to go do drugs or like get drunk at a bar and get arrested? Like, absolutely not.
Right.
Like, there's no reason for that. Like, and I mean, think about the environment that you and I grew up in. I'm like,
Yeah.
the like what was okay then is not okay now, and it
For sure.
Once you have kids, that kind of changes in your own mind, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're like, you know, this was okay to me at one time when I was stupid and didn't care, but now, like, nothing's worth, like, losing time from your family.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Or, like, them seeing that even, or, like, hearing about that or anything. Like, pretty much all I care about is, like, what my kid thinks about me. Like, what anyone else thinks about me, like, it doesn't matter.
No doubt.
Like, that's the impression that matters.
How much did you change emotionally when you had your kid?
I mean, I'm soft as baby shit, dude. I mean,
Okay.
it's like everybody does that, dude.
I was trying to tell
Doug Landry, like, I mean, like,
R.I.P. Oh no,
like-
different Doug. I was like,
yeah,
sorry.
no,
Yeah.
Doug, like, me and him went through so much, you know, but like, I think it even took him a year after he had his kid.
Really?
Like, and like, we had been through so much and just not talked about it. And like, he reached out to me and was like, dude, you know, like, respect, like, appreciate what you've done. Like, you've made such a good name for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge to me.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like someone that like taught my punk ass, and now they're like acknowledging me. Like, that's huge. But
Actually, the whole top of my arm is Doug Landry.
yep, you probably got that done at 610, where I worked, right?
Downstairs.
Yeah.
I get it now.
At Hall Ground, yeah, 610.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole soft as baby shit thing. So
Yeah, but dude, I mean, Doug's. Please, no offense, Doug. Don't kick my ass. Like,
He still can.
Dude, he's soft as baby shit. You know, like we all are. Like,
Yeah.
because we just realize like the empathy and like, you know, like the greater portion of the world, right? When you actually like, and like, you know, like you're a part of a family, you're raising family. It's like everything changes.
Do you remember the first time you felt it though? The first time you were like, "Oh fuck, what happened to my brain?"
Fuck, I don't even know what's
No.
going on in my brain, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, I do. probably like what changed me a lot was when my son was only a few months old. Like it honestly, it kind of fucks me up to even talk about it. Like, we were, like just hanging out outside my house. I lived in the West End for years.
Yeah.
You know, like I would never even leave. I was like, yeah, Portland for life, like whatever. It's all like fucked now. Everybody ruined it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
dude, my first apartment in Portland, I paid $675 a month for.
Wow.
And it was by myself. It was like a big studio. It had like a half-wall bathroom, all that. Me and my wife like both lived there before we had my son.
Yeah.
And then I moved like right down the road because she was pregnant. We had to get a bigger place.
Right.
So I was there, and we were like playing outside. Like we had like a really cool porch space. Like I parked my Harleys out there. Like I grew up like I said, like I had a million bikes. Like
Yeah.
so like I wasn't even ready to let that go. When I had a kid, I was like, this is my life. You know, like I had a motorcycle before I had a car.
Yeah.
Like forever, dude. Just hit
It's all good.
like forever. I was always tweaking bikes, like working on bikes, and then, you know, I made enough money to get a Harley, whatever. It was all downhill from there. But, you know, then now I even sold that. Like, that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I have no motorcycle, which is crazy. I have Harley tattoos. Like, I spent a lot of time on that. But, like, it was a really cool, like, outdoor space. Like, way too cheap what we were paying wise for, like, what we had.
Yeah.
Like, it was a really good deal. For being in town, and like, you know, the prom was like right there, so we could just walk every day. Like when he was first born, we used to take walks every night, and like skunks would jump out, and we'd be like, whoa. But like one day he was just like blowing bubbles. We were having a blast. We went inside. I gave him a bath, and he had like this huge welt like on his arm, and I was like, what's that? Like, and he's like, I don't know. Like he didn't even know. Like he was probably realistically like, I don't even know, like 1.5,
Yeah.
2.5. Like, I mean, he was old enough to tell me that, like, he didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, fuck, I should know that. But anyway, then we checked his fever. He had a huge, like, fever. So I'm like, what is this? And then I looked at it closer. I'm like, I called my wife in, and I pulled this, like, stinger out of it.
Oh, no shit.
And, yeah, he got stung by, like, I think it was a wasp at the time. But I was like, whatever, you know, like he probably, that's a lot for a kid.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's like venom or something. It's like, you don't think about that. Like you get stung by a bee, you're like, fuck you, bee. Like, get away from me. Like,
Right.
for a kid, that's a lot to handle. So he, like, was in bed, and then, like, I opened a beer, and I think I had, like, 2 sips of this beer, and my wife came, like, running down the stairs, and she's like, you need to come upstairs right now. Like, he's having a seizure.
Holy fuck.
Like, he's not, like, he's, like, and I went upstairs, and my kid was, like, blue.
Oh,
Like, he
my
couldn't
God.
even breathe. He couldn't talk to me, nothing. So I lived right by Main Med.
Yeah.
I literally picked up my kid. I don't even think I put my fucking shoes on, and I ran to the hospital. I ran there, dude.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk to each other. And they, like, bypassed. It was like fucking Grey's Anatomy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
they, like, bypassed us through the hospital, and, like, because they just saw, you know, what was going on.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, so the doctor I was like, what's wrong with my kid? You know, like, fix him
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fix him right now. Like, so mad. So mad. And he was like, he's having, like, this, like, certain type of seizure. And, like, he's going to be okay. But I was so mad, dude. And, yeah, like, turns out, like, kids, if their temperature spikes,
Oh, 100%.
like, they can just have, like, these crazy fucking seizures.
Yeah.
But, dude, man, like, that moment, like, I was just, like, grounded, you know? Like, it's like, what else matters, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
than that, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
else matters than that. And, I mean, yeah, it's softest baby shit, dude.
From that point
That's it.
forward.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, before that, probably, too. Like, you know, like,
eh.
like, seeing your kid, like, be born, all of that, like, just having a
Did you
family.
cry?
So when my son was born,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
me too.
Hell yeah.
I cried
It's
all
like,
3.
But, dude, I mean, like, especially, like, when there's something that's that severe that you can't change or can't help.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude.
man, like,
Did you have
And
like a
there's
good
so-
experience overall though? Like in like during the birthing? Like,
yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, I think I drank like, man, like 45 cups of coffee. When I was, dude, I got so sick from like having caffeine. I actually did get sick because I didn't sleep the whole time my wife was in labor.
really?
I was just amped, you know. I was like
Yeah, yeah.
so like scared and shit. But no, she was a champ. She was a total champ, and like I mean that was a crazy like dude. I definitely won't get into that, but it was just like crazy, you know.
It's
like,
so wild.
dude. Watching a child.
How old were you?
Um,
It's 4 years ago,
I
right?
mean, shit. Yeah, yeah. So, well, he's like, he's almost 5. So, that was almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, like that was just the craziest experience. It's wild. You cannot even talk about it until you've just been through it. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah. Dude,
can't
for me,
touch it.
my experience was fucking awful. Everything went fine. You know, like there was no like
it's one or the other.
there were
right?
no issues with anything, but I was 20, tattooed, drug addict, you know, like
Oh man.
and we had midwives, which are like, you know, really strong feminists. They're very powerful
like
ladies, you know.
GYN
Midwives, dude. Like I don't know how
Where'd
to
you go?
We went to Mercy.
Yep, that's where my son was born
Yeah.
too. So I think I was in the same situation as you. And some of them were great, and some of them were just awful.
Well, yeah, like
We got the one that we hated too.
so did we. Oh my god, dude! Like I literally like it's her thing. You know what I mean? This is her baby,
totally.
her body.
You like them? That's cool.
I wanted her to
That's great.
have, but like 6 months into it, I was like, listen, Chris, I'm sorry, but this girl sucks. She hates me. She makes me really uncomfortable. And, like, if we can switch
that's
and you're
cool.
okay
Yeah,
with
that's
it,
being honest.
yeah. She was like, oh, fuck that bitch. You don't like her? I don't like her.
It doesn't
You know what
matter
I mean?
though, because who's on call is who's on call.
That's what happened.
that's
so we
it.
go in for the birth. We have this whole birthing plan. We go in, and
Fucking plan, dude.
and
That's,
and
like,
and the one that fucking hated me was on call. So she went up in the room, and we didn't have like the middle of the night crazy dramatic thing. Like we literally like got up, had breakfast, we're getting ready for our day, and she went into labor. You know, so we got to the hospital like 11 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
You know, super chill.
That's ideal. Yeah.
Super chill. And we're there, and she walks in.
You already had like 5 beers. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably,
Dude, I'm totally playing.
like, you know, I'm heavily into substances anyway, so like my skin is always pale.
Right.
You know, I look sick all the time, and
Kind of like you thought I was like 34. No, I'm just kidding.
she walks in, and I'm like, fuck, and I feel myself get flush. You know what I mean? Like I probably already look flush, but like I feel that like fever feeling when you know your face goes white.
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows I don't like her.
Yeah, and yeah, because we asked not to work with her, and
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so weird. That's so
So-
awkward, man.
she honestly was amazing. Like she got into the bed with Crystal,
Wow.
rubbing her back. You know what I mean?
Dude, this same situation happened, but like there was no negative consequence
Right.
for me and my wife. But
Yeah.
like it was the one, like my wife's like, out of all of them, like, because we met them all, obviously, you probably did too.
Yep.
And she's like, which one don't you want to be the one?
Mm-hmm.
And I like said the one. I was there, but she turned out to be fucking awesome. So
She was
it
great with
cool.
Crystal, but at one point, I'm like almost passing out every 10 seconds. I'm 20. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
About to have my first kid. I'm still a fucking dishwasher downtown Portland, you know? And I'm just not having a good day. I'm excited. I want my child and everything, but
It's never a good day.
yeah.
It's like
And
terrifying day, but a good day.
yeah.
In the end.
And she's like asking me to get involved. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then I do whatever she asked me to do, I was doing so terribly that she just like pushed me out of the way. So finally, like the real doctors come in for like the actual, because we're crowding, you know what I mean? So they bring in, the midwife is still there, but they have to bring in like the real doctor too.
Yeah, totally.
And the doctor looks around the room, Crystal's mother, somebody else, and me, and this is your job, this is your job. And before he can even like tell me what my job is, the midwife goes, he's just here for emotional support. Consider him a coat rack. I was like, whoa. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Man, that's just rude.
And then
That's fucked up.
when he was born, she literally asked Crystal if she could cut the umbilical cord because she didn't think I could handle it. Which, by the way, I almost didn't handle it. I cut it and almost fucking dropped.
Yeah,
Like,
it's heavy.
I saw
It's
black,
heavy.
dude. Like, you know, like that. Ooh, like I almost phased out.
I feel you.
But Oh my god,
Dude, man, that's really messed up.
Yeah, it sucked.
That's like, dude, a coat rag, man.
Yeah, a
We
coat
called
rack.
a lot of things, but damn, that's too much, dude. That's
Yeah.
too much. Like, I mean, I guess you know, like, that's such an unpredictable time. Like, and you know, like, thank God for my wife. Like, she's so strong for like doing this, but like, I actually, like, dude, I was so stressed out and I was up for so long when that happened, and I was the same as you. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then like it was like, oh, you're doing it like because the nurse that was with my wife, she like ended up getting sick when my wife was like she like couldn't handle it, so she left. And
The nurse got sick?
dude. Yeah, so the OBGYN midwife, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
She was like, grab a leg, and I was like, fuck, guess we're doing it. And I just watched the whole fucking thing,
Yeah.
dude, and I'm like, wow, that was like, I wouldn't take it back for anything. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was crazy, like, and I got to see like the first moments of my son's life. Which
Yes.
is fucking cool. But man, like, was not expecting that
No.
at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, come on, like, this is your job. You're getting paid. I'm not. Like, what the hell?
They tried to get me to hold the leg, but
Like,
I
I was like gonna be a hand holder, and I was much more, which I'm very thankful for.
Yeah.
But and so were you. It sounds like so.
oh yeah, 100%, dude. Like I wouldn't change what the experience. I wouldn't change for the world. But I was at one point I was holding a leg because it's like the foot and the thigh or whatever that they make you hold.
Shout out Wumpine. I'm just kidding.
What?
I was just like held that up. I'm like, shout out
Oh,
Wumpine.
okay. But I kept drifting backwards, so I was like pulling her leg against the stirrup.
Oh God.
Because I was like passing out.
Yeah, it's like.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. Bad car accident.
Yeah, you can't
you
look
have
away.
to look, dude.
Yes.
You have to look.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Oh my god.
I feel you. Dude, I mean, yeah, it changes you. Like, that whole situation, like, full circle. We're, like, so ranting right now. Probably gonna have to cut some of that out.
No.
Shit, dude.
No, it's staying.
That was a long rant. I mean, it just grounds you, like everything, like having a family. I mean, I guess that's what your podcast is about, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, being a dad changes you for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I opened up, like, dude, I was so, like, terrified when, like, my wife got pregnant because, like, I didn't know, like, what to expect, right? I'm like, this is going to be, like, $1 million, billion, trillion dollars, you know? Like,
it's pretty
I'm
close.
Like, oh
It's
my
pretty
God.
close.
Right. I mean, but, like, dude, I grinded so hard. Like, I didn't have one beer the entire time my wife was pregnant.
Wow, good for you.
Not one.
That's
like,
strong.
dude, I mean, I didn't want to drink alone either.
No,
you know,
that's fair.
but forget it. So I just, like, I made money. Like, I made good money. I worked really hard.
Yeah.
And in turn, like, I have my barbershop
Hell yeah.
from that because, like, the same time he was just born, I was like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to get it done. And we just made it happen. But, like, I'm glad I did it when I did because in turn it all panned out. And then this whole shit show of a couple years happened. And, now I get to show him, like, everything, how to fish and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's cool, dude. I'll bring you guys fishing.
Dude, 100%.
Like,
we'll fucking go.
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll get you fish.
I am down.
But, yeah, it's crazy, man. Changes everything.
Yeah.
And anybody, like, I don't think I know any, like, just hard as fuck dads. Dude, like,
Have you ever
like,
seen-
I don't know any dad that's, like, just gonna, like, their kid's gonna be there and they're just gonna be like, yeah, let's throw down.
Yeah.
Let's get after it, dude.
Have you seen the meme? It's like a pit bull or something wearing a fanny pack and like a plaid shirt.
Dude,
And it says when you used to be
I
hard
haven't,
when you
but-
used to be hard as fuck, but now you're just a dad.
dude, it's true. I mean,
Oh
like,
my god, speaking of memes, I asked you if you saw this video the other day when I was at Black Door about the
dude, that was, like, so spaced that the plumber was in there and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
either way, you hadn't seen it, and I gotta turn my hotspot on. I want to show it to you because I feel like you're going to appreciate it.
I don't even know how you're working this TV right now.
It's hooked up to my computer.
It's like, oh, shit. Dude, I have my own file? That's sick. That's super tight.
Yeah, everything's got to go in one spot, dude. Makes editing a lot
No,
easier.
I feel you. Dude, here's how old I am, right?
Right.
I just pulled up my phone and it's on DND because it thinks I should be in bed.
Hell yeah.
It's only because I have to be at work at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Right. Oh
Like,
my God!
No,
really?
no, I'm not going to be
Oh.
at work. I'm going to wake up at 4. I have to be to work at 6. So every Friday I take early clients. Oh man, did you email this to yourself for me?
Yeah. So you can see the video.
Man, I love that. Dude, this kid's wildin'. Dude, man, that's so real. It really is.
Dude, I know, cause like,
That you can tell that's like an authentic video too.
Yeah.
Which is funny for a meme. Like that makes it funny.
Yeah.
But dude, like, man, nothing drives me nuts more. I've gotten so many clients from people that have just been on their phone or like just not paying attention. It's like, dude, the only time you'll catch me on my phone is like if there's a fucking emergency.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, you guys pay our bills. I need to stop hitting. That
It's
much.
totally
Like-
fine.
Like, there can't be any more respect like than that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like that's like if someone was about to like buy a car or something, and you're like, yo, like I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just hold up 1 second. Like I gotta take this.
Right.
And it's just like your boy. It's like, yo, what's up? Like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, not much, dude. Just like trying to, dude. I have people all the time. Like, they get a phone call, they take it, and they're like, oh, not much. Just getting a haircut.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? It's like, dude, you shouldn't have said the what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Now I know you're just fucking around.
Yeah.
But, dude, it's all love. You know what I mean? Like, waste my time. I don't care. You're paying me. It's fine.
No, it's just
But-
so funny because Crystal always talks so much shit about how long it takes me to get my haircut.
Dude, yeah.
You know, because it does take a long time because you guys do a really
Like, that shit takes time, dude.
yeah
It takes mad
yeah. Look at
time.
that fucking haircut, dude.
Mad time.
You know, it's literally that's like a 5-inch vertical lift off this dude's head, as well as the fucking fade. It's everything. It all takes time.
Oh, yeah.
But
for
she
sure.
never believed that I was actually just at the barbershop the whole time. She was like,
Aw,
"You must
man.
have got a drink. You must have this. Like, it doesn't take 2 hours
I
to
mean,
get a haircut."
at Black Door, in a non-pandemic circumstance, like, you can get a drink just while you sit there.
Yeah, that's
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she came and watched me get a cut a couple of years back that she was like, "This is fucking ridiculous." And she's actually the one that found that video like last year and sent it to me and was like, "Look, I'm not the only one that thinks that way. You know, just shut the fuck up."
Dude,
and
I
cut
mean,
the hair."
like, we do talk a lot, but at the same time, like, you're not going to go into a barbershop and have it not be like a sitcom.
right?
You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like, if you're in the wrong spot, if it's not, you know, like,
yeah.
and especially in my shop, like, we just, like, go back and forth all day. I'm pretty sure that Mark and Colin copied each other today for, like, over an hour.
Really?
It was just, I'm like, you guys are like children in my head. And then I'm like, yeah, people probably like it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like everything they said, like, and I think Mark was cutting like a first time client. And like Colin was cutting like one of his regulars. And like, he was like, oh, so what do you want to do today? And Mark's like, so what do you want to do today? And like, and I was like, dude, you guys are like babies.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And
That's
like,
so awesome.
they were all laughing though. So I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Let it happen.
Yeah.
But that's like typical Black Door stuff. Like someone says one band, we all just like start chiming in. Like, I don't know. I haven't said a word in like 45 minutes because I'm old and hateful. And like, then I'm like, wait, no, that record sucked. But it's the way it goes, you know? I guess. Dude, change this photo. It's been up there for
Oh,
too
sure,
long.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
old. Okay, cool. Yeah, Nixon.
Love
Shout
that
out
one.
Nixon.
Is that a bass too?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a largemouth. He's like super stoked. Like he's still kind of timid about like holding fish, but
Yeah.
like he'll be like, "Oh, it bit me," because it like closes his mouth. And like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have no teeth. But it's like, I'm like, dude, no. Like if someone pulled you out of the water, you'd probably like, close your mouth too. You'd be like upset. But,
Yeah.
No, he gets really excited now. He's like so stoked to go out this year. I'm like so excited.
That's
But
awesome.
That's probably one of my favorite photos like ever. of
Can
him.
you fish on Sundays?
Yeah,
You
can
can't hunt on
dude,
Sunday.
You can fish whenever.
You can?
Yeah, dude.
Because that's
You
another
can fish
thing.
all night. You can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
Whenever. But yeah, I mean, bass are just like they're just like cool to catch. You know, they're easy. Like I've like Johnny. Like John had never drank a good beer or caught a fish in his life before he worked at Black Door, and now he's
Really?
like obsessed with fishing. Like, I remember like I took him out and like he was like I probably caught like 30 fish, and
Damn.
like in like a couple hours, like just like I was like casting in a brush with like a bait caster, like flipping baits, like skipping them on the water, and like he just couldn't get one. And like I knew he like kind of was prepared for the situation, like he had done his research, and like he just kind of kept failing. And I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like, why don't you use one of my setups? He's like, all right. So he like started flipping one of my baits into the brush. He still couldn't get one. So I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like, cast right there. So it still didn't happen. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I just stopped. And then I got bored and I like flipped my shit into like a bush and I still caught one. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. And I pulled it up. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll stop. But he was like, oh, like, God damn. And like, then I was like, all right, I'm just going to stop. I put my shit down. And I was like, cast like right there. Make sure you get it right there. And he was like, boom. And he caught one. And then like he ended up catching like 3 like pretty decent fish.
That's awesome.
That day. But like, I mean, like, and that's coming from someone that doesn't have much experience.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you care enough and like someone really wants to help you out, like you'll learn. I mean, same thing with cutting hair. You can teach anyone to cut hair.
Yeah.
Anybody if they care. But if they don't care, they'll never learn. Essentially. But yeah, it's a good photo, Nixon. He's a handsome man.
He is. Well then, honestly, dude, I think that's a great spot to wrap it up. And I fucking really appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, for sure.
I had
dude.
a really
no,
good
it was
time.
a blast. It was a good time.
And I learned some shit about you that I didn't know,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
should happen because I don't know you all that well. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
no,
But-
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to just hang out for a minute. Anyway.
Dude, absolutely. Especially like we both have boys. They're the same age. You know, I'll fucking go fishing. I'll drink on your boat.
Dude, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. You can have as many beers as you want on my boat.
Before you go, it's super important that we shout out any social media, any websites, anything that you want followed.
Plug for Black Door at Black Door Barber Co. Plug for me at Lone Wolves. Make sure you follow Colin at Darth Vader. Mark at Mark Lark. I think that's his handle. He needs to change it.
That is his handle for sure.
At Haircut Johnny for John. At
Barber Bones?
Barber Bones. At Becca May Hair for Becca. Follow Ruzel and follow Cast and Craig podcast. They're sick. And follow what else? Pugsley's.
Pugsley's.
That's another one I mentioned today.
Hell yeah, man.
You'll be in good shape.
Awesome. Again, thank you, dude.
You got it.